I want to get on here and say this real quick. I was having a conversation with somebody, right? I'm gonna try to make this short. I was having a conversation with somebody, and this individual was telling me about like some of the things that he had seen going on around him, right? And the conversation was like about like relationships, situationships, right? And he was telling me about some of the things that he's seen, and I was breaking it down to him about what was going on, right? I said, no, what you seen is X, Y, and Z, right? He like, they doing this, that, a lot, right? They be ganging up and stuff. So I said, that be true, but I said, that's not always the case. I said, some of these people, right, some of these women are in, and men, right, are in relationships, and they might be in a vulnerable position in their life, right? They might be in a vulnerable state in their life. And I said, the average person is, they're not out here trying to help you. They're not out here, even all the way down to relationships, situationships, familyships. They're not out here trying to help you, right? They don't want to see you on your feet. And so a lot of times I told him, I said, no, people go into relationships thinking that that person is for them, not knowing that that person is jealous of them and trying to destroy them, right? And I said, people want to talk about everything else, but they don't want to touch on this. And I said, and so a lot of times you see it when it's too late. You see that that person want to destroy you. You see that that person's jealous of you when it's too late. Not too late, but late, right? Enough to where you done moved in with that person. Y'all doing this and y'all doing that, right? And it's for as long as you strong, you would never see that person. But as soon as you get into a vulnerable space, okay, you lose your job, you lose your house, you lose your car, whatever it is, you lose. I ain't gonna say house because a lot of times, like I just said, y'all moved in together and something happened, right? By you being strong, a lot of people be jealous of your strength. A lot of people jealous of your tenacity, your go, right? You'll get up and go. And you don't know that the same person you sit next to is jealous like everybody else is jealous, right? They just hide their jealousy better, right? And always, you better watch a person that always agree with you as well, right? And I was telling them, I said, a lot of people get into vulnerable states, right? And that's when they get to see the person that they sit next to. A lot of people are cowards. A lot of people are insecure with themselves. A lot of people don't like self, right? And a lot of these people go out here and they slide gold teeth in their mouth, put a gold chain on, gold ring, right? And they go out here and look like they this and they that, but they really ain't about nothing. And so when you come around, you might just need that extra push to get on your feet to take off, right? But these people know that before you even fully know and tap into who you are, right? If you just had that one shot, right, that one chance, they know that you would get up and take off with whatever it is that is offered to you, you would take off, right? These type of people, they come around you, they talk a good game, but they ain't about nothing, right? They agree with you and what you saying. As I was saying, they will agree with you, right, in everything you say, right? You might get around somebody, you might be like, damn, I want to open up this business. I want to do this. I want to do that, right? These my goals, dreams, hopes, and aspirations, right? A person might even agree with you. They'll put their input, say what they say, right, and it sound good. But the average person, when you get around them, right, and you come into union with that person, you will find out a lot. And see that these type of people really ain't about nothing, right? They really trying to glow up off your back, right? What I call clout chasers, right? Cock blocking, clout chasing, ass mud effers, right? They trying to get with you to steal your glow and your shine, right? And you got to be careful hopping into relationships, situationships, friendships, family shits, right? A lot of people trying to piggyback off your light. A lot of people trying to piggyback off of your good karma, right? And you go through things, right? You got to go through things in life to figure it out. And so I remember, right, for example, I was around this individual. And every time I would go out, right? I go to certain spaces, places, right? You got to be careful who you letting and taking into your aura, your energy, your atmosphere. Y'all, I cannot stress this enough. This stuff is so real, y'all. When I tell you that it was an individual that started coming around me, right? I didn't pay attention because what a coincidence, right? When you paid out your good karma and another person got bad karma, right? They've been out here scamming people, trying to get over on people, doing things that's just not right, right? They got they shit they got to eat. Now, meanwhile, you did all this work on self, but you like, God, I did all this work on self, but what's going on? Why are these things going bad for me? It ain't always about what you did, but sometimes it could be about who, what, when, where, and why. You get what I'm saying? And so I remember that I would go out to different places, right? Everybody like me. I don't care where I go. Even if they feel some type of way when they first see me and judge me when they first see me. By the time I left out of there, most people like, what's up? What's going on, right? They like me. I can go get me coffee. People like me in a coffee shop, right? Here go free coffee for the day. Girl, don't worry about it, right? Them are blessings, right? People don't understand. They just think that it's little. No, them are your blessings. Them are little treats from the Most High God, right? And so I go to the gas station. Girl, don't worry about it. I'll pay for that for you, right? But I was a person, I was like that, right? If I go somewhere and a person didn't have enough, I'd be like, and everybody else in the line standing there watching this person struggling to come up with the change. Girl, how much you need, right? I've never been a person that ever care. I don't care about money, right? We need it to live, but I don't care about it, right? And so this young lady was in the line standing there, right? And so she was like standing there counting her pennies, and she got her babies with her, and all these people standing in line, ha, ha, ha. And so I got mad for her. And I'm like, dude, hold on, wait a minute, stand to the side. Like, baby girl, what you need? What you want? I ain't have enough, and da-da-da, I'm trying to count this, and da-da-da. I said, get what you want, you ain't got to stand there and count nothing. Whatever you want, babies, go grab y'all some. Y'all want chips, y'all want pop, y'all want candy. Y'all, come on, get out the line. Get out the line and stay huffing and puffing. Let them go. Let them go. Let them go. Come on. Come on. Let's go do this. Let's go get that. She walking home. No, I'll take you home. You ain't got to walk nowhere. You have a blessed one. Right? That's how I bless people. I always been that person. And I don't get online recording it. I don't get online tapping somebody on the shoulder talking about here. I bless people everywhere I go. And I don't look for, I can't stand when people do that. I'm dropping off this pair of shoes. Look at me. Look at me. I'm donating over here. Look at me. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I bless people all walks of life. I don't care skin tone, skin color, race, ethnicity, kids, dogs, and or birds. Right? And so, when God bless you back, because God gonna always have your back when you like that. I would go places and I go get me a coffee, right? I ain't thinking nothing of it. I say, this person be on the phone. Watch Pocket Watchers and Blessing Blockers. You hear me? Watch Pocket Watching, Blessing Blocking a motherfucker, right? And so, this person, someone in my nail. Y'all was in the house messing with y'all. But, I wasn't paying attention, right? As you learn, you start picking up and learning what to do and what not to do. You have to go through it in order to get through it, to come out the other side, to be like, I ain't doing that, right? You learn as you go. And so, and I know it's always going to be out somebody. Yeah, I say right a lot. That's my word for the word, right. So don't come for me if I ain't saying for you. Get the message. Pick up what I'm putting down or click away. It's always somebody. Don't come over here with that. And so, I ain't coming after you, judging you, right? You don't know what somebody been through. Why they got that habit. And so, stay there, stay down until you come up. But anyways, I was on the phone with this person. And this person was watching my blessings. Pocket watching, blessing blocking, motherfucker, right? And so, I wasn't really paying attention because if you on the phone and you got your earbud on, you moving around throughout the day, I ain't paying no attention, right? I go to the coffee shop. The lady like, girl, you can have that coffee. I go over here, give me a smoothie. Girl, you can have that smoothie. I go over here, the person like, girl, pay on it. No, this, that. I'm going to give you my employee discount. You can use mine. I ain't used it today. Them are little blessings. Them are little gifts from heaven, right? People take that type of stuff for granted. And so one day, what really did it for me is that girl who was at the gas station that I blessed, I did all that. And one day, I had the money, though. One day, I went to the gas station late night, trying to go get me some snacks, being fat. And when I got to the gas station, I knew I had my debit card on me. Just put up. I knew I had my debit card on me, but I couldn't find it. And so I'm in the car looking for my debit card. I went in the gas station and put some gas in my car. And I'm like, about to fill my car up. So I'm like 35 on pump, whoop, whoop, whoop. I got all my snacks in my hand, right, walking. And when I get up there, I can't find my debit card. I'm holding the line up now. And I'm like, dang, man. And I'm like, hold on, y'all got to get my debit card. So I know I just had it because I'm still thinking my person. I'm like, I just had it, right? Dude from people in the background huffing and puffing. I'm like, I'm sorry, y'all, right? Y'all go ahead. Some people can go ahead and go in front of me. And the lady up there, the cash register, well, if I do this, I gotta redo this and da-da-da-da. So the guy in back like, hey, baby girl, what you need? And I'm like, my stuff way too much for you, bruh, right? My stuff was like probably about $60 with 35 on pump such and such in my snacks with my pack Noop Ho Hunt in box, right? We ain't promoting that. But my stuff was like $60-something. And I'm like, bro, I'm cool. I'm going to pay for myself because it's too much for you, right? He like, how you going to tell me what's too much for me? And I said, I don't know, but I just feel like that's too much. Water my blessings down what I deserve. And so I'm going to be the help. If I help somebody, we so quick to help other people. We so quick to that's ego, right? God taught me how to humble myself. I'm going to be the charity case too. And I was listening to this lady and she said, why is it that everybody shy away from being the charity case? If you need to be the charity case, right? And so in that moment, I thought about that, and I said, well, put your ego down. What they say, get down and get your ego on, girl. Ego on, girl. I went somewhere else. My mind be here, there. And so I said, forget it. I said my stuff like $60-something, sir. And I don't want to do that. He said, I got you. I'm going to pay the whole thing. Go on and she good. He said, I'll get up there when I get up there, and I'll pay for her stuff. And so the lady was like, oh, you can go in front of me, right? And so she went on, she was the same one, all that. But this fine, tall, young man, right? He was a truck driver. Fine man, coming out the blue like, I got her. Baby girl, you ain't got to be ashamed of embarrassing nothing, right? We all need help from time to time. And even if you don't need the help, I got you anyways. Because that's how God come. When he come, he don't When God come to you and God want to do something to you and he using a person to do that for you, he ain't gonna sway. And so I said, okay, man, you could pay for it, right? And I knew that he didn't have nasty intention behind him wanting to do it. That's something he wanted to do, and I knew it was God. And so he came around and went to pay for my stuff, and the lady was like, digging all in her purse. Here we go with one of those, digging all in her purse. Here you go, baby, put that with that too. And I'm like, no, sweetie. I said, I just left my debit card in the car. It's out in the car, y'all. And she like, no, here, because how much was that? And she said, it's $60, but I got it. I'm cool, man. She don't need your stuff, right? And she like, no, because, I was there before, too. Like, y'all had me in there looking like a straight charity case, but you know what? But you know the difference. That dude wouldn't do that. He knew I wasn't lying. He wasn't doing that. He knew I wasn't lying about what I said, that my stuff was in the car. He just wanted to do something for himself. He wanted to feel good for himself by what he did, right? I knew that was that, too. And he didn't try to mess with me and none of that, right? She wanted to do something to water me down. She tried to use that as a way to water me on down, right? So she can get the attention of this man. Hoes, man. Cats, dogs, and hoes. I just can't. And so, if anybody wondering, I got my Skywalker glasses on because God had told me to start covering my eyes when I'm getting on this here page, right? And so, it be some people like to do stuff when it come to eyes and all that stuff. And so, anyway, I'm doing what God told me to do today. Following instruction. And so she was trying to take advantage of that situation. And so I was just looked at her and I was like, no, I ain't even accept it. Like, if she would have had came in a different way, I might have accepted it because there's nothing wrong with being a charity case. But it was the way in which she was trying to present herself. She was inferior as a woman that this man wanted to help me. And so she tried to take it on down on through there, right? For no reason. Y'all know what I'm saying. And so I said, no, ma'am, I'm good. I told you my card is in the car. I'm not joking, right? And so I didn't know, y'all, I'm so special. I'm young, but I'm not all into this new age stuff. And I remember my brother said, how you really come from the epitome of the era of technology and you don't know nothing about technology, sis? Like, what are you talking about? Right? He always said that to me. I'm like, I'm old, I don't know nothing about this stuff. He like, how you come from the era of it and you don't know nothing about it? What are you talking about? Y'all, I'm old. I don't know nothing about it. I didn't know you could tap your phone. Like, that was magical to me, right? I'm like, you would do what? Tap your phone on the... See, if I would have knew that, I would have been able to pay for my stuff, but I just didn't know about none of that stuff yet. But anyways, y'all, he went on ahead and paid for it. I gave him a hug. I thanked him. And after I thanked him and I went out the door. When I went out the door, I said, no, I need to do this. I said, I have to do this. And I said, it's not about me being prideful or nothing like that. I said, I just want to show you that I wasn't lying. He said, I believe you. You ain't got to do it. I said, no, come here. And so I walked him over to my car and I went to searching on down. And I said, it's right here. I put it up. It had fell in between the seat when I went to get out the car. Thank God it had, when I stood up or whatever happened, that it slid in between the side of the door and the, between the door and the seat and all that on the floor, and it didn't fall out the car. Because somebody would have grabbed that, honey. I would have been in some real trouble. I would have been out there like a charity case for real. Help, right? But I would have canceled it and all that too. But anyway, so he was like, I'm happy you showed me that, and it's nice to know that you wasn't lying. He said, I knew you wasn't lying, though, right? He said, that's something I wanted to do. I don't care, He said, people out in there huffing and puffing, like, that's ridiculous. He said, everybody could have put $5, $10 together and pay. He said, if life was like that. I said, man, you think just like me. He said, they want to tear you down when you in a situation. They want to do this and do that. He said, I believed you when you was in the store. He said, she pissed me off doing all that. And so, understood, let's keep it moving, right? But let's get back to the blessing, blocking, pocket watching, motherfucker, right? So, now when I go take care of my business, I don't let people, I don't talk on the phones. I really don't talk to people. Now I talk to one individual, and this person is in my family. Other than that, no friends, no foes, no hoes, no... I do got dogs. Yeah. I got a dog. I got 2 dogs, as a matter of fact. And a parrot. And so... I was going from place to place. Got my earbud in talking, right? I'm going here, I'm going there. I went to the coffee shop. I went to this place, right? I had a routine before I went to work. And so, y'all make sure y'all subscribe, like, and if you want to, you can donate, right? Info is in the description. And the Cash App is $LAREEA. I'm going to let you know, right? Because I was talking to somebody, they was like, you got a good word. You need to start putting that out there. And I'm like, I'm just learning how to work certain things. And so I'm still going to put it out there. If you can't do nothing else, like and subscribe, right? Support the goal, support the mission. Help somebody to help somebody. Anyways, I'm on the phone, right? And I'm going from this place to that place, to this place to that place. Y'all got to be careful when y'all on the phone with your homies, your friends, your foes, your hoes, your mama, your daddy, your kids, your granny, your auntie, your cousin, your brother. You know what I'm saying? You got to be careful when you own these phones and you running out taking care of your bills. So this person, right? I ain't thinking nothing of nothing. Y'all take me so long to get to the epitome of the middle of the Gucci and all the good stuff. So anyways, y'all, I ran out. I ain't thinking nothing of nothing, y'all. I go do my thing. Get up, take my shower, get ready for work, right? Get in my car. I go get my coffee, go get my food. Might stop here, might stop there, and then going on to work. This is what I mean about people, places, things, situationships, friendships, all of it, right? People be jealous of you, your own freaking spouse, the own person you sleeping with, but they be jealous, envious, cunning, underhanded, tactful, right? These people are so jealous of some of y'all life that they are wanting to absorb it and eat it up. Yum, 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 yum. And you don't think that people is out here watching you and doing that to you like that. I have came across so many people like that, and I had went through it my whole life like the average person. A lot of y'all go through it your whole life, right? But you don't know until you hit a certain phase of era that make you pay attention to that. And so, for the last 4 years is what made me really tap in to how people trying to take on my character, my persona, my quirks about myself, and all these things that people was out here actually want to present themselves as if they was me. And then that's when you get the people who, they don't want to bring you around their other friends, right? You always got that person this person might not know you have a lot of friends and you don't like a lot of people around you. And what that person would do is they would come sit around you and take on your persona and then go back and present you like you present themselves, like they you, taking on the way you talk, if you spiritual, they taking that for themselves, and they want to present this stuff to their friends around them, whoever they going around, the men that they meet, and they acting just like you, dressing like you. And so a lot of y'all ain't thinking nothing, right? Because I was never a jealous person or a person like, oh, you got this friend, you hanging out with that friend. I never thought like that. But what I started to pay attention to when I seen this person, they would all of a sudden go and disappear, and then they would come back around. And so I feel like they would disappear, right? They would disappear and go to their friends and act like me, right? And whoever else. And then when they was losing it, they come back and get a little bit more, and then they go back out there again and disappear again. This is what the other person was doing to me, a female that came around me. But that's what you call doppelgangers, right? And so, anyways, I was on my way to work. I'll get back on that in a minute. I was on my way to work, and this person would always call me when I was on my way to work. And I'm not thinking nothing, y'all. I do my rounds, but me being me and how I operate, you ain't paying attention to what you doing, right? You just doing you and going on. What made me pay attention is this person said to me one day. This person, when I went to the coffee shop, the girl in the coffee shop was like, "Hey, how you doing?" And da, right? And I was like, "Girl, I'm doing good." And she was like, "You gotta go to work. You on your way to work." They knew me. And I'm like, "Yes, girl." She was like, "Girl, I'm getting out of here at such and such time." We talking. Even the guys in there, they talking. We all talking stuff. They know me. And sometimes I would go out pay. Sometimes when they like, "Oh, we got a promo going on. We gonna give you this book of free coupons," all that type of stuff. I ain't thinking of nothing. Girl, thank you for that. Thank you for that blessing, girl. Because, we say amen. That's me. I'm just funny. I'm just silly like that. And they all be following up like, amen. Right? I be having them going. Because people like your personality. They fuck with you. I go to the next place. The lady like, "Oh, my God, I haven't seen you. You haven't been coming out with you. Don't like me anymore." And da-da-da-da-da, right? I'm like, "No, girl, I just been coming back on the slushies, the smoothie, and the Chinese food, girl. I'm getting fat. Girl, and it's getting hot outside. I can't be eating that stuff in the summer." I'm character. We all character. They all know she crazy as hell, right? She's silly. And she like, "Oh, my God, girl, because I got to stop working here." The one place I was going to was an old woman in there. She was basically retired. She had lived her life, but her and her mother stayed together. Her mother passed away. And so she ended up going back into the work field because she was at home bored all the time, which is always her and her mother. And she had been like her 70s, y'all. This lady loved me. She couldn't wait to see me. And she was like, "I was going to quit if you didn't come back up here." She in character. I'm like, "Girl, don't quit. Girl, don't do it. They say when old people quit, they die. Girl, I don't need you dead. I don't want to have to come find you, Mrs. Susie." She be cracking up laughing because that's just me. That's them. That's us. We do this. They know me. We family, right? Coming here every day. Until I go on my diets. "Girl, I can't do that this week. I'm going to have to cut you out, Miss Susie. You shoving me down with them slushies. Them egg rolls. Wontons, right? Barbecue sauce, sweet and sour sauce. Y'all want some right now. I mean, all the way down to the way I order my food, right? I didn't know this person was paying attention. And so I had a certain order. Let me get a large, very berry smoothie. Extra frozen. Put a little bit of that syrup, more syrup in there. Let me get 2 egg rolls. I don't want the packets of sweet and sour sauce. Give me a side of sweet and sour sauce. Right? The side of it that y'all put on the chicken. And let it make sure it's hot. Is it hot in there? Girl, yeah, it's hot. We just got a fresh batch. Okay. Put that in the side cup for me. And let me get a side of those lo mein noodle, beef and broccoli, lo mein, fried rice on the side, add chicken, cook the beef well done. Got me? A little bit more of that sauce in there, gravy. Whip it up. See, every time I go to these places, everybody like me. They in there laughing, talking stuff, right? I get up a little bit early so I can go when I was running late. Goodbye, right? Never had any issues with nobody. Let me tell y'all about the flipperoo. Let me go to the next place I used to hit up. Another place I used to hit up. It was a girl that used to work at a gas station by my house. And she ended up going out to this other smoothie place that I like. And she would be like, girl, what you doing all the way out here? I say, girl, I come here all the time. What do I work down the street, right? Girl, don't worry about that. I'm about to give you half off that. A smoothie, $8, I'm paying $3, right? They use their employee discount, however they got to do it. Their supervisors was okay with it, right? Trust them to you, me. Anything that I did, I told them, don't do it for me if you going to get in trouble, right? Don't do it for me. They like, no, we got these promos, da-da-da-da-da, right? Another place I went to, they gave me a whole stack of coupons with scratch-off tickets. Y'all, I'm talking about, you don't look at it like that until stuff begin to go wrong. Everything, every place, everything, everywhere I went to, people like, what's up, right? But I'm like a popular loner. I say to myself, I mind my business. I don't mess with nobody. But as well, I'm a blessing as well, right? I'm also a blessing. Put my pants up. I'm also a blessing anywhere I go, right? And a lot of times, it wasn't even that. Like, because, like, if they gave me that, I feel like it's only right for me to tip you right? I didn't have a deal all week. Girl, here go a $20 bill, girl. Thank you, girl. Thank you. I'm about to go kick it this Friday. Girl, thank you. I needed that. Right? When they look out, you look out. That's just how we go. Right? This the laws of the land. I ain't paying no attention, y'all. I'm just doing me. I'm being me. I ain't worried about you, or you. I don't have nobody in my lane, right? I don't deal with people, and that's dangerous. It can be dangerous to a certain extent. It can be dangerous to let people in your lane, and it can be dangerous to be by yourself. Because when you run into that one person, that person a lot of times know that you don't rock that way, right? You don't rock with all the family. You don't rock with all the city. You just your own person. You a loner, right? And what I started to notice is that a lot of people is not okay. They can't sit with themselves. A lot of people gotta go sit in a group and click up. A lot of people can't go out to eat by themselves. People so weird that I remember I started going out to eat by myself, right? I always went out to eat by myself. And this particular day, I had got online and I said, I went out to eat, right? This is before like the TikTok got all popular and all this stuff. I was like, going out to eat. I said, I went out to eat by myself. It's nothing like going out to eat by yourself and just, getting your mind right. It was a person in my little bitty old city where I come from. She's a real popular girl, but she hangs around all these other popular people, right? I'm a popular loner. She's a person that deal with a whole bunch of people, right? I don't know this girl, never met this girl, but somebody that I was connected to her. They was a family member. But I didn't hang. Do y'all know I posted that? I ain't thinking nothing like, y'all, it's nice to go get your mind right? Come out, go out by yourself, get to know you, right? Love on you. Nothing wrong with that. I go get my nails by myself, get my massage by myself. I'm just her. And so I posted that on one of my social medias, right? Nothing to nothing. This girl that I don't even know, never met, that's connected to somebody that I know, goes on her social media and says, I don't see how people go out the next day. I don't see how people go out to eat by themselves and rock by themselves. I just think it's so weird, right? Everybody like her post, right? But everybody know who she referring to, right? Weak ass motherfuckers. But I don't care because ain't nobody gonna do nothing and y'all gonna still be there and y'all all ate up, y'all all chewed up and y'all all can't sit with yourself. Start healing, man, right? I done been through too much. And so, to give a damn about what you doing. This is how people rock. They're about the trend, right? They're about what's next, what's in, right? And the average person going to agree with the person, even if they know that what that person is doing is wrong, they going to agree with them because they the same type of way, right? They can't sit with themselves neither, right? They need somebody else to verify and vindicate and tell them they right, right? And so, everybody want to like this person's page. Do y'all know the day after she posted that, she went and said, oh, I'm out to eat by myself and took a picture. Oh, I'm going to get my nails done by myself. Everybody liking it. Because you want to know why? The average person is jocking and stealing another person's swag and style, right? But they want to target you. Oh, girl, you see what she had on? Oh, girl, you see her hair? Oh, girl, you see her nails, her wig, her Or do you see his shoes? You see the way he da-da-da-da-da-da? He weird. But then they in the background trying to go online and figure out where you got it from. And then they go put it on. And they slide right up in there. Talking about some, girl, ain't I'm cute? And everybody around them ill-minded. Talking about, girl, you look nice. Knowing that person would just sit up there talking about you, your style, what you had on. And they go put it on. Go wear it and go do the same thing as you. And everybody liking that shit. Because they the same type of way. Weak cowards, right? And so, let me fix this bacon egg, y'all. It's supposed to be buttoned up in the back. And I ain't got it buttoned up at all. And it's just hanging like a bacon strand. Stop playing with me, y'all. Anyways, I don't even care, Lord. I just don't. I'm just tired, Jesus. I'm just tired, Yahweh. I'm tired of all of them, Jesus. Ugh. And so, right. Okay, let's get back to it. So this individual, right? Let's get off this hoe. Miss Huh. Let's get off her, right? And so, Y'all, I ain't thinking nothing of nothing, right? I'm out there doing me every day. This person call every day, same time I'm going to work. These are the snakiest, sneakiest person you will ever want to meet. Do you know this individual was calling me every day, not to check on me, right? But to figure out what was going on in my lane because they liked it the swag. They liked it the fact that how I move, watching me. Grown ass man. Do you know, y'all, I didn't even know what this person was doing. I just thought they was checking on me before I went to work, calling, talking. This person was trying to figure me out so they can go out there and do the same thing. And how I found out what they was doing because they so bold and blatant in the movement and the behavior and what they do. They think they so ill-minded that they think what they doing is okay. This person went out there the next day and said, oh, I'm going to go get me a smoothie from the such and such place. And I ain't think nothing about it. I said, yeah, they got some good smoothies and you should try this one, right? Do you know this person tried to go in there and force some people to give him a discount? Do you know that this person backtracked in every place I went to and was in there trying to force them to give a discount in my name? Right? When they first went in there, they tried to go in there off their own luck and thought they was going to smile and grin in the women's faces, and they was utterly disgusted because God would have them tap into their discernment too, right? And so when that didn't work, they tried to connect themselves to me to get something for free. And then every time I went in there, they looking all sideways. I don't know what that person did, but they did something. And so at that time, right, I didn't know. I'm like, what the hell? The older woman had so much respect for me when I went inside of there, because it's the thing, just because they doing it for you don't mean they gonna do it for somebody else. That's your blessing. That's what God got for you, right? That's what God got them doing. That's your personality. That's what brought that on for you, right? To build the relationship and all that. That didn't just come overnight. The relationship with these people don't come overnight. With anybody that come across you and bless you, a lot of them relationships just don't come overnight, right? A lot of them relationships come from you going there so long and they seeing you, they get to know you, because it start off anywhere you go, in any atmosphere, any business, especially, you just a random regular customer. But when they see you come so much, it's like building a relationship, a real relationship with somebody, right? And so when they see like, dang, she come here every day, and the little conversation start, and all that stuff, they get to know you, and they go from that to you family. Girl, come here, girl, we got this, da-da-da-da-da. I mean, to the point where, y'all, this noise intimidation is something serious. Before I clicked on here, somebody rolled past with some loud-ass music, and this dude rolled up and down here every day, all day. Here, listen to this stuff all day, every day. Like, they like, she don't go. Hurry up and roll past, right? Stop her. Wow. Anyways, y'all, so any relationship you build with somebody don't come overnight. It's a drawn out thing. Actually, years of doing something sometimes. And this person, when they couldn't get it off their own back, they tried to throw me up in there. But they was basically trying to bully these people, and I didn't know. So at first I'm like, why is they acting weird all of a sudden when I'm going inside of these places that I don't want to go to, right? They acting weird. Here I'm going. So this person seen that I built this relationship with these people, went inside of there and tried to bully them. And so it started off when I started going, they were still kind of normal, but I started to notice the behavior in them changing. I kept saying, damn, did I do something? Like, what the hell? Did they hear something about what the hell happened, right? I didn't do nothing. I'm feeling all subconscious because I'm like, everybody was just cool. But what happened, it went from one place to another place to another place. This is a period of about 5 or 6 places that I go to a lot. From the massage place to, I like to get myself massages. All these different places I'm going to, all of a sudden these people slowly acting stranger and stranger and stranger and stranger and stranger and weird and weirder and weirder and weirder and stranger and weirder, right? And so, y'all, stop. And so, I'm like, God, what's going on? Like, I ain't did nothing to nobody. Why everybody acting strange? Like, all of a sudden, I'm feeling so strange, right? Because that'll make you feel strange. People don't go from building a relationship. I mean, it's a difference from you go inside of a place and a person just doing their job. And like I said, when you go in there and you just a regular customer, they wouldn't even like that, right? I'm just a regular customer. It was some strange. Everywhere I went to that I would normally go to, it became very strange, peculiar, and odd. And I'm like, what in the flying fuck is going on, right? And this went on for a while, maybe a little bit over a month, 2 months before somebody said something to me. And one day I got to the point where I started feeling so subconscious about going. I was scared to get my coffee. I stopped going to the smoothie place, right? And the last time I went to the one place, the older lady said, could you come here for a second? And I said, yeah. And she was talking about my Mickey Mouse in my car and all this stuff, because I had like Mickey Mouse seat covers and all this stuff. And so she started talking to me about that, and she was like, I'm talking about this is how much of a relationship I had built with people. She was like, I want to talk to you. She said, girl, I just now recognize the Mickey Mouse seat covers, right? And she was like, my mom, she liked the Mickey Mouse and this, that, and the other. And my mom had like a code and this and that and the other, a sewing machine and all this stuff. And I was talking about sewing and this stuff. She said, I'm going to bring it to work and bring it for you, right? This was before this. So I'm like going up here. I'm like, why she didn't bring the coat yet or whatever, right? And so, because my son passed away, and before he passed away, you pick your babies out a theme. And his theme was Mickey Mouse. And this city is so toe up, right? Do you know after my son passed away, everybody wearing Mickey Mouse? Everybody all of a sudden like Mickey Mouse. All of a sudden, all over the city, all over this little toe up town, everybody liking Mickey Mouse and represent Mickey Mouse. And everybody they have a baby, they daughter, my son passed away, they all getting their kid stuff, right? Cock blocking, blessing, blocking, on the wave ass motherfuckers. And so when she began to tell me about, she said that she wouldn't even want to say nothing to me. She was like, you know, I just want to let you know that I always liked you, I always respected you, and this is why I'm saying something to you. She said, do you know a person that looked like this, that, and the other, da-da-da-da-da? And I said, yeah, I know who they is. Why? What's going on? I'm like, they told me they was coming up here the one time a while back, but she said no. She said this person came in here. She said the first time that they came in here, because she would only pick up every now and again, right? Because she made her own schedule because she was retired. But from that incident, she had started coming in almost every day from after what he did. She said, girl, he came in here, and she said everything started off nice. He was smiling and talking, and she said that I noticed that he was like, he was trying to inch at like a discount on something, right? Like just out of nowhere. And she like, I'm thinking to myself like, where did he get the sense to think that he was going to get a discount, right? Like, we don't know you. Like, what is he talking about? And so she said, we none of us think nothing of it. And she said, we all was talking about it when he left. Like, how did he think he was about to get some type of discount? They like walk in here like get some type of discount. And she said he tried to play like laugh it off and you know, the discount would be nice and da-da-da-da-da, right? She said they didn't think nothing of it, but they always kind of talking about him when he left. She said that person came back there again. She said when they came back again, she said they came because they went in the first time. She said the next time they came through the drive-thru, they trying to inch at about a discount again. She said after that, the person had brought again. They came back again. She said they had brought your name up. And then she said we didn't know your name. She said we don't know your name. And she said because they didn't. As long as I went there, and I ain't never thought about it. As long as I was wondering, I had never told him my name, right? And so she was like, we didn't know your name. So when this person said your name, we didn't know your name. So we just looking at them like, who you talking about? And she said, I don't know if they felt some type of way because she said we genuinely didn't know your name. And so she said the person that back out again, right? They came back again, right? This was over a period of time. She said when they came back, they mentioned your name again, trying to get another discount, and was like, oh, y'all, how y'all acting like y'all know what I'm talking about? She looked like this and that and the other, right? And they like, oh, okay, you talking about her, right? Basically. And they like, oh, yeah, we know her, she cool, this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, what that got to do with you, right? Not only that, you got top management that come in and out of there, head of this, head of that. So why would you try to be in there forcefully trying to get these people to get a discount? You about to get these people to lose their job, right? What they do for one don't mean that they'll do it for the other. You don't know who tied to who, what, when, and where, right? And you trying to get these people to forcefully give you a discount, and then you bringing somebody else up. This particular day, they had somebody come in who was going from the different franchise to straighten this out and that out, you know, because they worked in the food industry. I wish y'all could have heard this, I don't know if that was a motorcycle or car, crotch ride, popping and bopping like that, y'all, all that noise. But she said that this individual, so, no, let me go back. So they said that they had one of the head people come in from like the franchise, you know, they come through the different restaurants to check this and check that and make sure this and check that, right? Dude, why the fuck this lady tell me that the person came up there on this day that the franchise people came in? She said, I don't think that they knew nothing about the franchise people coming in or nothing like that. She said, but I feel like that person try to use that to their advantage. Like that person try to bullying them and to try to get them free. She said, girl, it went from a straight discount to straight trying to get the food off of us. Like just take, like trying to force us to get a food, and was going to try to use you to like bully us out of the food. Like basically we're going to tell them, like, she said you can tell that person was of a higher authority coming in there doing what they was doing, right? This is not a person you see here often, the person, and I knew who she was talking about. And she was like, I feel like they was going to try, they try to bully them into giving them food, like giving it to free, making them get it for free. And so when they came in there this time, they went in the inside. When they went in the inside, the head guy was there, and they made his food and all this stuff. And she said he ordered a lot of stuff. They made this dude food. And when they made the food, they handed the food, you know, they already had ringed him. No, they had made his food. Normally they would ring you up when you go in there. But this time, since he was there, they went on ahead and made the food and then rang him up, right? Normally they would ring you up and then make your food. But he was there, so I don't know if they had to do it a certain way. I don't know. But she said that they ended up making the food, and he ordered a lot of food. They started to make the food. She went to go give a helping hand because he had ordered so much food. And she went to turn back around and ring him up. And he was trying to force her to give him the food. Force her with the man there. And she said, I feel like he knew that wasn't a normal person. And he tried to use that person being here to like bully us into giving him something for free. Want me to slide him the fucking food. And when we didn't do it, she's like, no, I can't do that, right? We got our people here, da-da-da-da, GM, da-da-da-da, right? And this person was like, oh, well, you doing it for her. You giving her free stuff. Y'all don't say that. I've been on the phone with her several times when y'all gave her free stuff. I heard it with my own 2 ears that y'all was. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. I was so embarrassed. I was ready to cry. I was pissed off. Y'all, I could have punched this person in their fucking face. And so, the lady said when you start coming in, it wasn't that we had nothing against you. She was like, it wasn't that we had nothing against you, but you know, everything is a learning lesson. And she said, you my girl. She said, I'm going to always look out for you. She said, but you... And I said, girl, I never told him about the free food or nothing like that. I said, but you know, a lot of times when I came here, I said, you see my ear? But she said, yeah, because I always heard you talking to somebody. I said, that was him. I was talking to him. I said, you always call me on my way to work, right? And she was like, ooh, girl. She was like, ooh, girl. She said, how many other places you went to? And I said, I went this. And you know, I'm talking to her. And she like, I said, girl, I said, I've been went to this person, that place. And I said, how y'all treat me? I said, the same way I come here a lot, I go to other places a lot. And I said, for the last couple months, everybody has been looking at me sideways and weird. And I'm like, why is everybody looking at me like this? She said, that's the reason why they're looking at you like that. He going behind you. And she said, I don't even feel like it's necessarily trying to mess up what you got going on. She said, but people will slander and mess up what you got going on, and to their own detriment, to make so they can have, right? She said, that is selfish. She said, girl, I was so disgusted. She said, she said, thank God that we know, you know, they know they GM, they, you know, whoever is the head, the person that go from that place to that place, to that place to that place, they go to all the different places. She said, thank God we cool with them. They stepped in on them, like, ain't nobody getting nothing for free. I don't care what they gave the next person, the last person, right? Get away from here. But he tried to use that to bully them, thinking she was going to slide him that. And he said it loud enough to where the dude would turn around and be like, what you talking about? Who getting out free stuff? Trying to get her in trouble to put her in a forceful situation. Y'all, that lady, y'all ever seen a black person turn purple from embarrassment? I was so embarrassed. And everywhere else I went to, all these people had treated me like this because of what this person was doing. And God showed me something right then and there, right? One thing about it is, whether it was that person or another person, the average person that come around you, when they see that you blessed and you highly favored and God look out for you, they want that for themselves and they would destroy you and anybody else in the midst to get what God got for you, right? That's what they call destiny swappers. But see, they don't understand that what's for you is for you. They're not allowed to have that. And so a lot of people, once they can't get it, they will try to ruin it for you so you can't go back and do it again. You can't go back and get your blessings. You can't go back and get that free cup of coffee, right? And it might not seem much to somebody else, but it's a lot to me because what God do for me, I take seriously. What God allowed me to have, I take seriously. I don't take nothing for granted. And so to somebody else to get a free coffee, that might not be nothing to them. To get a free steak and shake and a free fry and a slushie and a discount here, that's your blessing. That's your walk. That's what God got for you. I take mine seriously, right? And so you got to be careful when you sit next to, laying next to, friendship, kinship, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. A lot of y'all people don't know that y'all are laying next to the enemy, right? Y'all are laying next to the enemy. Y'all are laying next to people who are coming in, don't have no walk, no nothing, right? And a lot of these people are slick, they're charming and all these type of things. And they very good at hiding who and what they are. And what I started to notice is that a lot of people, you don't know that a lot of these people behind the scene doing this to you, right? You get that person the shot, and I said, God, why couldn't they speak a month earlier, right? Why can't they speak a second earlier, day earlier, right? When people see stuff, start speaking up. Don't let nobody else come in and ruin somebody else behind the scene. Y'all, the stuff that I seen this person doing, man, the stuff that I found out that this person was doing, and it make you go back over everything else, right? What that person did made me go back over everything throughout my life, right? God has showed me like you've been being blessed in this way your whole life. But people, family members, friends, right? They was all going behind me, messing, trying to scramble up what I had going on. And they was doing it in the slickest way possible, right? They was trying to do it like they had no conscience of what they was doing. I never forget, I was dating this one guy. And I ain't gonna really say dating, he was like a really good friend to me. And he worked at, his friend owned a restaurant. But other people didn't know that it was his friend who owned this restaurant. I mean, boy, food good, banging, barbecue restaurant. And every time he would call me and say, what you doing? I'd say, nothing, sitting at home chilling. And he'd say, we got it. Like, they would call me as a test taster, right? We got a new something, we add this to the menu, come taste it, right? Come taste it, woo-woo. I go out there, get my car, and taste it. See, when you have someone, God fill you up so much, you would get sick of it. God had you so full, right? Y'all, I was so full off of everything that God ever touched for me that I was like, ugh, too much, right? And to the point where I would give to everybody around me, whatever I couldn't, what was ever overflowing, I would give it away, right? And so this guy would call, he'd say, come up here, my people, they got a new thing, and some, see what you like, or thing. I'm like, add the greens to the menu, right? I mean, this is a big restaurant. This ain't no small restaurant. And a lot of people don't know nothing about none, right? And so they see little old me and think, oh, she ain't nobody. Yep, I ain't, right? Nobody. And so, he was like, he said he want to add this, but I told him about you said somebody adding the greens, right? And so, he would always, he would give me big old slabs of ribs, right? I had like 4, 5 ribs, and I would go give it all out, right? Because once you eat something so long, you like, oh my God, I can't do this, right? And so, y'all, I was out there taking slabs of ribs and food and big old containers of food to everybody. Here you go, y'all can have that, right? I told somebody around me about my friend. I was like, yeah, girl, he always look out for me and something. And one day I had took them out to this place with me. This was a family member of mine. That situation had to happen because God had needed to take me back and open me back up to things that had already been going on that I had overlooked. From friendships to things that could have potentially happened, places I could have been and got to, right? People was walking, trailing behind me, destroying everything. And I didn't even know. I was just gone. And it's crazy because I do believe that God will shield and protect you, because a lot of times you're not ready for that level of information yet. To receive that level of information about the people, the blood, blood and family, whatever, right? People that's close to you, that you hold dear to you, is doing this to you. A lot of us, at them times, God don't let it be revealed fully, right? You might see a little bit like, damn, what the fuck you doing, right? Why you go back and do this and that, right? But you don't all the way fully tap into it. And so when this person did that and went around and trailed around me and tried to ruin everything that I had set up, right? And it wasn't even something that I set up. It was something that God just opened up for me in that manner, and people liked me. God let that happen to make me sit down, right? Because I'm more mature now and all these things. To open me back up and take me back to certain situations, friendships that where people just walked away and I just never questioned to ask why they walked away, and I knew I was a good friend to them, right? People going behind you, lying all on you, trying to destroy your friendships. You in a relationship and all of a sudden your spouse jumping out the sky and the moon and the stars. And you're like, what's going on with you, right? You cool Friday, Saturday, Sunday. By Sunday night, the person turning on you, right? A lot of people be sellouts too, but it's always somebody trying to behind you, lying on you. And a lot of people they don't have the intuition, the discernment to know that person is lying on that person, right? You don't let things from the outside come and affect your relationship unless you jealous of that person as well. That's the only way it's going to affect your relationship. Unless that person ain't got faith, they ain't where they need to be at to even be in a relationship anyways, period. A lot of people ain't where they need to be at to even be in there. They healing, they want to jump from relationship to relationship instead of sitting down, taking that time out to heal. So by the time they get into that, they know how to check that in at the door. No, going over there, right? I'm going to take this to my spouse, what you said. If you got a problem, come in here and say to her face what you said so she can have a chance. You're going to talk about this person and you're going to accuse this person that at least give them a chance to defend themselves. They don't do that. What they do is they take the word as gospel and then they go and act on it and never come and give you a fair shot to even defend yourself from what that person said. A lot of times they are unhealed, right? They ain't took the time out to themselves and they shouldn't even be attached to no relationship like that anyway. They don't want to sit down and take, and that's why they easily tricked out of their spot, right? That's what you call a person getting tricked straight up out of their spot. They go to work on you, start doing stuff to you, right? A person weak, if a person goes, come up to that person and say, oh, I just seen her down the street, she cheated on you. And that person just go off and start showing their ass on you. And you like, why all of a sudden, what's going on? And then they wait until you break up with them and years down the line, then they purposely have a run-in with you, right? Because them type of people, they don't just run into you, it's always a purposeful run-in. When they see that they actually lost something that's good. They want to tell you 10 years later, oh, you remember that one time that such and such and such and such? Yeah, because your family, your brother, your cousin, your sister, your mama, your granny, somebody came up to me and told me that you did this. And you're like, what? That never happened. I never did that. Well, they had told me, I know you didn't do it now. So your actions was off of what somebody else said about me. You ain't checking in. You deserve it. Get out of my face. You deserve what you got. You deserve what you live in. You deserve what you walk in. And you deserve everything that's coming towards you. Get away from me. Don't come around me telling me that now. And did you actually just run into me, or did you set this up? Because you getting dogged out. Because you try to take a person through something on purpose, and that person didn't even do nothing to you because you went off what somebody else said. So anyways, y'all, God took me back over the scene about all this stuff, right? Friendships that had fell away and all this stuff, right? A lot of people are easily persuaded because that's what they doing to you a lot of time. If you got a friend and one of your family members can snake ass up in there in your friendship and waddle their way up and say, girl, call me. Girl, call me. And your friend sneak behind your back and call somebody that they know you don't even deal with like that and allow that person to sway them away from you and tell a whole bunch of lies. They ain't your friend. They weren't supposed to never be in your atmosphere, right? A lot of times later on the line, people find out that that person was lying on you, and they end up growing an obsession with you just like that person. They need to give you a fair shot, because you want to know why they easily persuaded, because they had some tinge of jealousy in there as well. Something was going on in their heart towards you as well, even though you never did nothing to them. And a lot of times they was only around you to get what it is that they wanted out of you, whatever that was. And so when God opened me up to that, to see everything else, right, it took me back to this person came back around me, right? The person, we just fell our own separate ways. All my life I'm thinking like, everybody just fell their own separate ways. You grow, you keep moving and go, right? When I came across the barbecue guy again, right, because I'm thinking that we just went our own separate ways. When I came across this person, right, I ain't thinking nothing of nothing, right? This is a different, he Caucasian, right? And he come back, I ended up seeing him somewhere. And he was like, how you doing? And he came me up. I was at the mall, as a matter of fact. And he was there with his daughter. And I gave his daughter a hug. I gave him a hug. And I said, how y'all been? And woo, right? I haven't seen him in years. And he was like, talking about stuff. And he was like, I've been wanting to talk to you about something. And I said, what's going on? He was like, do you know? He said, I was on the fence about if I want to ever say this to you, or whatever, right? He said, I ain't aggressive. I just don't get off into that. He said, and it's my fault. And that's the only person I respect when it comes to that. He said, it's my fault. He was like, I had some insecurities going on. I had already been done wrong with this, that, and the other. He said, one of your family members came up there to the barbecue shop, right? He said they was loud, obnoxious, right? Because they tried to get some food. And he said he couldn't do it because they had catering going on. I said, what? Who came up there? He said, man, it was a really, really close in blood family member that did this to me, y'all. He said she came up there. He said, she said she came up there. He said, when I seen her, I said, hi. I came from behind the counter. I gave her a hug. He said, I ain't think nothing else. He said, she was trying to get some food. He said, I told her, you maybe can come back a little bit later because I'm doing this and doing that. He said, I ain't thinking nothing, right? He said, he told her, I can't do it right now because they was doing a catering business, a catering service that day. And they had so much food to send out there. They had already shut the restaurant down. The door wasn't even supposed to be open, but they was taking the food in and out for the catering thing they had going on. He said that I don't know if she thought that I was like, not going to give it to her. I was playing games or something, right? My mind state is like, I would have mushed that bitch. Get out of here, right? He a little more tender and soft. He ain't like that. And so he like, I didn't know if she thought I was like lying to her. I was being really honest with her. Like, we had a caterer. I couldn't give it to her right then and there, right? And I'm thinking to myself, like, you so sweet, but you didn't owe that whole no explanation. What's going on? And he was like, I know, but, I always try to look out, and especially when it comes to your people and da-da-da. I'm like, what are you talking about? And he genuinely knew what I didn't know what he was talking about. And he was like, confused, like they all came up there and I always gave them stuff. And I'm like, what are you talking? You weren't supposed to get nobody nothing. What are you talking about, bruh? Right? I'm hood, I'm ghetto now, because what is you talking about? He like, he said, your family always came up there and got stuff from me. Y'all, I was in so much shock. I said, what? I said, no. I said, anytime I came up here, you didn't ever see me with nobody like that. I said, you see me with one person. He said, all your family knew that I was giving you stuff, and they all came up here all the time. And I'm like, who, bruh? Who, right? Y'all, I'm on 10. I'm ready to get out of the mall and fight everybody. He was like, I said, why didn't you say nothing to me? Why? He said, I thought you was mad at me for not looking out for them. Y'all, I was like, what are you talking about? No, right? He was like, yeah. He said when she came up there, he said she was loud. He said once I told her to come back, he said she was loud. She was cussing me out. She turned around and told me that you ain't like me and you using me and all this stuff. Like, said really bad, mean things, right? And I'm like, dude, stop fucking playing with me, dude. What? He said, but as time went on, and like I seen how because we were still friends on Facebook, right? He said as time went on, he said I would watch your little posts and stuff like that. He said, your family is evil, right? He said, they're all evil. I said, I never knew they was coming up there, dude. I said, He said, I know now. He said, but I had ruined our friendship. I ruined it, right? I didn't know how to come to you. And so, I'm like, I never sent them up there, dude. I never pretty told. I said, I just took them. I said, you gave me so much stuff, I would take it to them. He said, and they used that. They all came up here. All of them. He said, so many of them was coming up here getting stuff. He said, I didn't mind. He said, but when she did that and came in here, cussed me out, I said, it was meant to go exactly how we went. It was meant to go that way. Because God had enough, right? You had enough. And he was so nice, he wasn't going to say no to them, y'all. I was so mad. I was on fire. My neck, my thyroid had... Y'all, this is what we call friends, family, lovers, business, companion, whatever you want to call them. Y'all, people are so fucking trifling. People are so jealous of some of y'all. Y'all need to stop taking these people around your man, your girlfriend, your da-da-da-da-da, right? You better make sure you got a certain level of understanding between you and your spouse, a certain level of trust, right? And that take a long time to build. And this is where I'm getting at, even with me, right? God's taking me back over and showing me stuff now. And I said, Lord, this next go round, I don't want to be with nobody. God, I don't want to be with nobody. I want to go in the house and I want to mind my business. I want to get up with my t-shirt and my thong and my high shoes and just go to work, Lord. I don't want none of it. And I feel like as well, the people around me were so jealous and I was just so giving and so naive and just here. All the people that he had told me was doing this, right? These are people that I gave to, right? People that had ended up in situations that I helped out. People that I was so kind to, right? Y'all think y'all hearing something. Now, wait until tonight, girl. Y'all ain't heard nothing. I'm not even touching the surface level of what I have experienced and endured throughout my life. And when I talked to him that day, we was cool, but I just can't even deal with it, right? I said, they planned that. I said, that was a plan. I said, you know when people jealous of you, I said, you might not understand because of your culture, you don't deal with this. I said, but that was planned out. He said, I believe it. I said, that was planned out. I said, somebody seen that I had something going on. And he said, I just want to let you know that they all doing it to you. They all jealous. He said, I just so happy when you stop talking to them. I'm so happy that when I seen you just be by yourself. He said, I just so happy, right? He said, how do you tell somebody that somebody's doing this to them, right? He said, I felt guilty. I didn't know what to do, right? And he was genuine. He wasn't lying. When you come from, you and your family stick together, they ain't never seen this level of snake, right? He white. Let's be real. He ain't never seen that level of snake, and he ain't even understand. He couldn't even fathom and understand and wrap his head around what he was actually seeing. And when he got to experience, it was traumatizing, right? But I'm the one got to endure. I don't got to live with this type of stuff, right? When he seen this level of snaking, right, it scared him. He was terrified. He like, they plotted this stuff because they didn't want you to have stuff. They plotted this stuff because they was jealous of you. They came after me. They was willing to come after me. Like, he thought he was on the run from the mob. My family. That didn't want me to have shit. That already caused my life to be hell. That never gave nothing to me. That never helped me with anything. Right? I had to get out here and get my own place at 17 years old. And some of these things he knew. He knew a little bit of stuff. But he didn't understand the full understanding of it. Right? And so, y'all, they had hurt that poor man. And I said, and let me tell you another thing. Whatever they came and said to you, I ain't never discussed nothing like that about you to them. He said, I know you didn't. I know you did. He said, at first, I was so hurt, I thought you did. He said, but as time went on, the years went past, I know that you didn't say nothing like that. Right? I know you didn't do it. He said, but I understand, though. I told him, I said, I understand. I understand. That's it. It's over with. It's finished now. He said, but thank God you... I said, I ain't by myself. I don't talk to people. I don't deal with them. I don't have no friends no more. It's over with. He said, your friends, all of them, they're all shysty. You need to get away from them. Y'all, they had even sent people up there that wasn't even a part of my family. People that I didn't even know. They were sending people in from all over to do this thing. And so, we talking about barbecue, right? But let's not talk about when I moved into houses, when I went and got cars, when I went and had a new friend, when I went and got a new job. All the blocking and stuff that these people was doing to make it look like, right? I go get my own house, I move away. And I told him, I said, half the people, even when it came to friends, how, as a friend of mine, and I have done nothing but good to you, how you let somebody come in and say I said anything about you when you never even seen me hang around that person? I don't care if they was blood. If I was friends with you for 10 years, and out of that 10 years, you only seen this person and out of my family come around me one time, why would you think I would be sitting on the phone talking about you to this person? Why would you think that I'll be going to this person at any level? Oh, because they was that close in blood. And so, even though it didn't make sense, right, in the message that they went and delivered, and whatever it was to be messy, to cause them people to get away from me and to move and go the other way, if it was a random, right, and they like, who is you? Bitch, I don't know you. I've been around for 10 years. I don't know you, right? They would have stood 10 toes down. But the fact that this person was so close in blood to me, that's what rolled. That's what ride. That's what a hard donkey, right, take off. That's where it took off at, because this person was so close in blood who was sitting behind organizing these things to fall apart in my life. Right? And so, because that's the first thing I kept saying. I've been around this person for 3 years, this person 4 years, this person 6 years, this person 10, right? How did they never seen me talk to that person? They never seen me say nothing about them to that person. They never seen that person come and check on me. They never seen me hang with that person. Why would that person be able to come in there and tell them something they believe in, right? That's nonsense. because they were so close in blood. That's why they believed them. And that person that was close in blood knew that they would ride because they were that close in blood to me. That was doing this stuff. That was doing all this organization, doing all this, right? Certain boyfriends I had, all of a sudden they acting weird. I'm like, where this person sliding through the door lying to him? You know she cheating on him, right? You know she cheating on you. She got this person, that person, right? I know her. People come out the woodwork you don't even speak to, going up to your spouse, to I know her. You don't know her like I know her. Lying all on your name. Calling you a prostitute hoe. She about that money. She about this. Ain't never been around you long enough to ever see nothing you was about. Never been in your house long enough to see nothing you was about. They come in multiple, but you know what? I can say this. Even though it went down like that, and that person was, it was meant to. That's crazy because it's 10 o'clock and it's 1000, the great reset. Even though, right, I done lost all type of people, all type of places, all type of things around me, right? These people was trying to build a certain type of look when it came to me. But you can't build a certain type of look when it came to me when I've been out here for a long time by myself doing me, right? I had my own apartment at 17 years old, fully furnished by me. First car, by all my cars ever by me. Cell phone, all that, every bill paid was by me. Fully furnished by me. For me, by me. FUBU, bitch. Nobody ever done nothing for me. Even if I ever got into a hard space and I put my pride to the side and reached out to a person, right? I remember I was like 2 days away from my payday, right? And I called like a family member of mine, an older person in my family. And I said, hey, you got such and such amount, maybe about 20, 30 dollars. I could borrow until like 2 days come around, right? The person, they were like, what's going on, right? This is the day I stopped. I never went back and asked for nothing else. It was the first and the last time. I asked this person for the 20, 30 dollars, whatever it was many years ago. And this person was like, what's going on? I ain't thinking nothing. So I'm telling him, like, oh, girl, I get paid in like 2 days. You know, woo. I gave my dude this, that, and the other. And he supposed to pay it back. And he got tied up over this and that and over. I ain't thinking nothing. Thinking it's my family. I'm talking to. She asked, why, right? She gonna give it to me, whatever. It's just that. Man, do you know I sit there and talk to that person on the phone for about 2 hours, y'all, about that and just other things, just chopping it up with them. See, this is the person I really didn't talk to like that. Right there, an older person in the family. This supposed to be a hierarchy. And so I just chopped it up with them, catching up, telling them what's going on. Do you know, after sitting on that phone with that person that long, that person gonna tell me, oh, well, I ain't got it. The person did have it, as a matter of fact, right? And do you know, after that person said, oh, I ain't got it, do you know that my business was spread to here, to Europe, to Japan, to Africa? Everything that I talked to this person about, my business was spread all over. And that was the day that I decided that I would never tell nobody else and never go to nobody else for nothing else that I need. I'd do it myself. And I have done it myself. And I did a damn good job doing it. Raising my daughter by myself, all of it. I have done a motherfucking thing. And it's always going to be somebody, a snake in the garden, that try to come in and destroy your reputation, right? You got to be careful who and what you let next to you. When you got people, especially when y'all women dealing with people coming out of these prisons and all that, they don't have an identity. And so a lot of them have mental health issues, not just them. People come into your life, period. They sit back, they study you, they watch you, and they want to. And a lot of people are being sent towards y'all. Right? Your family members, they send them towards y'all. And you wonder why this person get up and slap you in your face out of nowhere and y'all sitting in the house watching TV. Now you got to call up. And I'm going to say this as well. I was saying that you will wonder why somebody get up and just slap you out of nowhere. Right? And you like, what the fuck made you just get up and slap me? We sitting here watching TV. Or a person go out the house and come back in the house drunk, starting stuff. Right? Be careful of a person acting like an alcoholic, because everybody that tell you they got a drinking problem don't mean that they got a drinking problem. Some people are so psychotic, right, that they will hide behind the liquor, the drugs, the whatever, so they can get away with doing that thing, and you would think like, oh, they just got an issue, right? It was a person that was around me, and I remember when I first met them, they was like, do you mind if I drink? I said, why would you ask me that? If you know that I said, for you to ask that means that you shouldn't be doing that thing. If you had to ask somebody else, I said, that's a problem for you, so why would you put yourself in a situation where it was problematic, right? It wasn't that person was had a problem with that, right? That person was trying to throw that out there, so that way when they went to flip out or do something stupid, they would hide it behind the liquor, like it's the liquor, and so they can come back and apologize. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I got drunk. I ain't gonna drink again. Right? Y'all got to be mindful and pay attention. Let's not undermine the fact that a lot of these people that's coming towards y'all, spouses, girlfriend, boyfriend, y'all being set up with these people, and that's why they coming in with such tumultuous energy and so damn destructive, because a lot of y'all are old things, and they've been setting you up before you even knew this thing was coming towards you. Right? A lot of y'all getting poisoned, stuff dropped in y'all drink. You in the house, then went to sleep sitting up, and you thinking that you just dozed off, having a normal sleep, and you don't know this person to slid something in your drink. They not talking about that, though. And then you sit up there asleep like this, and they taking a picture, look at her, she high off that heroin, and you sleep normal. I bet you they would say something like that when they done dropped something in your drink, and you thinking you sitting there normal. They not talking about that. Let's talk about it, right? And A lot of these people got sent towards y'all, the destructiveness, the building of the assassinating of the character, your whole life behind the scene, right? People coming and going out of your life. You wondering, you meet this person, you think you have a normal run-in to gain a normal friend, and you don't know that this person was sent towards you, and this person around you for a certain amount of time, they steal everything about you, doppelganger, and then they go back to your family and go sit on the stand and testify and lie on your mental health. And they disappear. You like, you don't think nothing of you like, damn, oh, she must got other things to do, right? You ain't pressed as a person. Oh, they must, time go on. You just going about your way, right? That's how I thought about it. Time go on. Everybody got to grow each other. Come back, girl. How you doing? How you been? I ain't seen you. Girl, come on. Let's do this thing again. Disappear again. It's how life go, right? No. A lot of people are in and out your life, disappearing and doing all that stuff. You got some people. Everybody got their own hidden motive, hidden agenda, regardless if they is sent to you, towards you. Like, you see that? Ooh, right? Everybody got their hidden agendas. So even if that person was sent towards you, that person grew an obsession with you, because now a lot of times some people got an obsession with you because the person that set them in is obsessed with you. And so that demon body hopping. They didn't disappear because they didn't see how horrible, horrific your life is, right? And see how you got on your path. And they go try to take your stories and turn them into their stories and his story. Right? They didn't see your story and try to turn it into their story, to turn it into his story, right? Everybody on a different agenda. Hide her off. Hide her off. Don't let nobody know her story. You go out there and tell her story. You act like this. And they come in there fixing their hair like you and doing this and trying to pick up on your quirks and the way you move your hand, the way you blink your eye, and the way you... And you like, that company, they so gone. I remember it was a bitch around me and I hadn't heard from her in a while. She was telling my story like it was her story. And she had a nerve to call me to verify her lies. Like she wanted me to verify that my story was her story. So she was hanging around a crackhead. Like Judge about to say, I know a crackhead when I see one. You's a crackhead. And so she was explaining to a crackhead about what she went through as a kid, but it was what I went through as a kid, and she wanted me to tell the crackhead that was her story. Then I go through this, then I tell you I went through this. I'm like, bitch. And somebody who was sitting there next to me heard what she did, but I already told this person what she was doing. This person didn't believe me. Like, there's no way she's doing that. I don't believe that, right? And when they heard it, they mouth dropped. Like, what? Ain't that what happened to you? They was like, hang up the phone. I don't want to hear rest. Right? Y'all, I done seen it all. And then they go and try to slander you. So when you go to speak, everybody's already pushing against you. You already got the odds working against you because this person went out there and tried to slander you, as well as with other people. That ain't her story. She ain't the truth. She lying. She had false prophet. But a person, when you go to speak, can tell whether you false or not. They can tell whether you lying or not. It don't take a rocket science to figure that out. No, she ain't lying. You a lie, bitch. You told her story and then tried to go make money off of it. And anybody made finances, I'm telling y'all this. And this season, for the people in the back that God was healing, licking your wounds, right? God like telling the angels, lick her in the back, then stab her all in the back, lick her back, right? I said in the last video, lick her back, then stab her on the back, man. We gotta heal her. You all in healing. You in seclusion, right? You in hermit, while God is fixing you before you go out there and tell your story. But you got to help somebody, right? And they all out there telling your story before you can get out there. In this season, you are not to be worn as a costume. Like the one lady said with the big afro. I love her. I can't think of her name. But she said, people out here want to put y'all on like y'all some form of costume. And I had to take up my glasses, getting darker and darker out here. Lord, hold on, shield me, protect me, and send it back in the name of Jesus. In the name of Yahweh, Ashe. Right? But, I was listening to this lady, and she was like, it's a lot of people out here that before y'all can even get y'all stories out, basically, right? She didn't say it to the exact manner, but something to it. And she was like, all these people out here that was walking around falsely, putting y'all on like y'all, and y'all, putting y'all on y'all story, y'all persona, y'all character on like it's some form of costume, like they can go walk in it, right? Then anybody out here thinking they gonna put somebody on like they some form of costume out here playing with their story and their mission and the things that God let them go through so they can go help somebody to help somebody, right? One thing about it is this. Anytime God got his all the way around the board, right? A lot of us, we ain't going out here searching for finances and money. We do accept donations though, right? That ain't what I'm saying, but we not looking for that in that. We allow God to lead us and guide us. But God ain't let that person endure all these things, right? All this foul energy from the day they came out the womb all the way up until now. And you come across somebody and they think that they gonna put you on like you some form of costume and go deliver your message. Right? You went through the energy. You went through the healing. You went through the phases. You fought the battles to get where you need to be at. And they think that they going to come around you and pick up your persona, your je ne sais quoi, everything about you, and go out there and present you to the world. Coming to the stage. You ain't even get to get out there yet. I remember this person, right? When I went into labor with my son, a lot of strange, precarious energy happened around that time. But I remember my son heartbeat had stopped, right? And so I asked the lady, I said, what's going on with this monitor? And she like, what you talking about? I said, did it get shut off? Did it unplug? And she like, no, you know they wrapped a belt around you to listen to the baby heartbeat while you in labor and stuff. And she was like, no, I didn't. She said, no. And she come over there and look at the monitor because she was turned around filling out paperwork, right? And so she came over there and looked at the monitor and she was like, oh my God. And she called a code something. And like 20, 30 doctors ran into this room, right? And they ran me out. Y'all, they ran me so fast. They had ran me into the wall. They had ran me into the wall. They had me run so fast. They ran me out that room so fast, y'all. And what's crazy is it was a man off to my right. He was the only one that was nice and kind and gentle, right? Because they did me so wrong throughout my pregnancy. They did me so wrong through my pregnancy and after my pregnancy. I got done so wrong, right? That's my story. And when I'm ready to share that, I was sharing. But I remember I looked up and it was this guy. And he kept talking to me like, just stay with me. You hear me? You all right? You all right, right? And so when they got me in the room, I remember they started... I shared this experience with this person, right? The same person, this doppelganger that got sent in. I didn't know at the time, though, right? That this person was a doppelganger and they got sent in. And so, I shared this with this person. I said, girl, we both was pregnant at the same time. We both had our kids around the same time. I think she had her child like 3 months earlier than I had my son. But you know, if y'all pregnant at the same time, you know, y'all pregnant, y'all doing pregnant things, right? We on the phone talking, we going this place, that place, stuff like that, doing a little shopping, this, that, and the other, right? And so, and she was a user, right? This is all the things I found out later on. And so, when I met her, she didn't have nothing to nothing being around me. She got all these things, right? And she thinking it's off her own energy. It was never off her own energy, but some people know that, right? They use it and they try to run out and act like they did everything for themselves, right? That's a whole nother story. I'm not going to go into that right now. I shared this incident with this person. Like, girl, I called her when I was at the hospital. And I said, girl, you ain't going to believe what happened to me while I was in here and yada, 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 yada. The girl done ran me into the wall, right? So I told her certain things, but once I got out of the hospital, I went on ahead and went into detail with her about what happened and what they did, right? I'm like, girl, the motherfuckers done ran. I took my son home, everything. I'm cool. I was swollen really bad. My face was swollen. My hands were swollen. My feet were swollen, right? I got pictures of all this stuff still. And I'm like, I shouldn't be this swole. I'm having heart palpitations. They not doing nothing, right? I think I had preeclampsia when I was pregnant, but they were trying to use me as a test dummy because of my blood type, right? And so, I told them I wanted to take my placenta home. They didn't listen, right? They took my placenta and did what the fuck they wanted to do with it. Just did not look into any instructions that I gave her. My OBGYN, all of them. And that's why they all look fucked all up and ate all up now, right? Sometimes you ain't got to do nothing. Sometimes you ain't got to proceed to do nothing. Because when God come in, he coming in, right? And so, I shared this thing with this girl about what happened to me. I'm like, but I'm just sharing it as she supposed to be a friend, right? I'm like, girl, these motherfuckers ran me into the wall, that crooked ass motherfucker. You know, just talking, right? About everything that happened to me while I'm in here. Y'all, I ain't thinking nothing of nothing, y'all. Why months later, right? My son done passed, and I had the funeral, and all this stuff, right? Months had passed, right? Everything's starting to go back normal and all this stuff, right? It had to been like a year and a half afterwards, after that. I had already shared the story with her. Do y'all know this girl called me and said to me on the phone, and this another person was sitting around me at this time because I answered, and I put the phone on speaker. I'm like, well, what's going on, girl? And I told this person like certain things that I didn't know it was this bad, y'all, with this girl copying me. Do y'all know? I answered that phone, right? I had already told this other individual, like, she be doing some copying weird stuff, right? But I didn't think it was this deep. I kind of left it at the surface. When this person called me, I grabbed my phone, turned it on, put it on speakerphone, I set the phone down. And she was like, remember when I told you this happened to me and they ran me all into the wall and stuff like that and my veins was on fire? Remember I told you about that? And I'm like, what? I was in a state of shock. I was in a state of shock, right? This person turned around and looked at me in my face and was like, what the fuck, right? That person was like, hang up on them, right? And I'm like, no, I just want to listen to what she's saying, what's going on. So I'm like, no, I don't remember none of that happening to you. I remember it happening to me, though, right? No, because remember I told you that happened to me, too. Remember I told you that. This person was so loud and obnoxious, and I'm like, no, right? I got to the point where I didn't even say nothing, I just listened. And she was like, no, because I'm telling this person this, and he called me a witch. And I told her this loud mouth and obnoxious, and I'm like, where is all this coming from, right? The dude, whoever she was around, I don't care what he was doing or what he was doing that was right or wrong, he knew that she was lying. He knew that she was a goddamn lie. And he was like, in the background, I heard he calling, nah, bitch, because you ain't got no discernment. You don't know none of that. You a fucking witch. It's a difference from discernment and being tapped in with God. You a witch. I know a witch when I see one, right? He was going off, right? Old school, dope fiend, didn't give a damn. He told her what it was. And you ain't gonna do nothing to me. And he told her, I ain't coming back around you, you liar, right? Y'all, if I have never seen no crazy shit in my life, and I'm like, why is she calling me? Why is she lying like that, right? Once I finally got off the phone, I'm like, all right, girl, I'll talk to you later, right? I never answered that phone again for her. That person that was sitting in the house with me, they was like, all that stuff happened to you. But what would make her call and do that, right? What would make her call and do that? What would make her lie like that? What would make her And I said, because, you know, when it comes to spirituality and all this stuff, it's the wave. And everybody trying to find the next big story. I said, and everybody out here trying to get money. Everybody trying to con people out of money and stuff like that, right? And he said, if she doing that, he said, you know, it's a lot of things I don't believe in. And you turned me on to. He said, but she's going to get it. She's going to get it. Karma's going to come back and bite her right in her ass, right? And he was like, I hope she's not on them platforms doing that. I hope she don't. I hope she not, right? And he just went on and on and on because this is the same person that I told that she was doing this copycat shit too. But I didn't think it was on the grander skin. He was like, maybe it's not like that, you know. Trying to keep a positive mind state about it. And so when he got to hear it for himself, he was in a state of shock. He went off. And so, time to went on, y'all. I'm just saying, right? All that to say this. Be careful, y'all. When y'all see who people is, when people show you who they are, please believe them, right? One thing my uncle told me, I dealt with another person around me at that. You know, this is years of different things, right? I called one of my family members and I said, oh, excuse me. I was telling him about a person that was around me at the time and some of the things that they was doing that I didn't like. And I'm like, you know, they doing this, that, and the other. You know, I don't respect that. They could have just, I had went off, right, talking to this person. And I said, I'm trying to figure out how this person sitting in my face doing X, Y, and Z. And they act like I don't see what they doing and they keep going, right? This was another person I was talking to that gave me some advice. And they said, nah, them people don't see what you doing, right? Them people really, they sit in your face doing it because they actually believe that they actually get away with it. They really think they slick, right? He said, that's what you looking at. You see looking at the slickness in them. They really believe that they getting over on you at that time. That's your gift. God gave you that gift to be able to see past that, right? That's yours. And when you got something for so long, gifts, intuition, whatever it is that God gave you and blessed you with, you walk around with it so long, utilizing that skill. You don't even know it's a skill that God gave it to you. You don't know none of that. You just think it's normal because you had it so long, right? And so, I walked around with that so long, I thought that was normal I thought that person really was doing that, and they really thought, like, they was really like putting a fast one, but doing it in my face. And I'm like, they really sit in my face doing this and doing that, and like, I don't see them, and I'm looking dead at them, like, what the fuck, right? Like, this person sitting in my face doing this, and that person was like, no. But one thing my uncle always told me is this: you see certain things, right? Cool. But when somebody show you that, right, and you see it, You got the God's given talent to be able to see that. Because talent, baby, that's gift, right? You need to remove yourself away from that. Because it can become dangerous. And he said, you know how many people sit around somebody, right? That one friend that get up and just took your blood and help you look for it. That took your dollar and help you look for it, right? And you keep letting that person come around you. And even if you never had proof that person did it, it was only you and them in the car, right? So you know that they did it, flat out. If you know that you and somebody in the car, you know you just sit your wallet right here and your wallet come up missing. You just sit your blunt right here and it come up missing. And that person, you like, damn, where my stuff just go, bro? I just sit that right there. I don't know, bro. You know what you just did. You know you just sit it there. You know what you did. You know it was in the car. You know you just want to pay for you and this person McDonald's. You know you just sit it right there, right? People will go as far as psyching their own self out to believe that they don't know what they just did with their stuff because they don't want to believe the person sitting next to them just took their stuff. You will get out the car looking for your wallet, looking up under the couch in the house, lifting up couch pillows, this person to help you, and they be the one took it. And time go by and you keep letting this person around you, and eventually something go wrong. This person pop your ass in the back or do something crazy, and you like, hold on, my light went off. And you like, dang, man, you know, why would that person do that? But I'm gonna tell you this: it's always signs. It's always signs to show you. It's trying to go in the house. It's always signs to show you what a person is about. It's always signs to forewarn you about a person. And so a lot of times, like when I hear like these horror stories about a person saying that they thought that was their friend, they man, they woman, right? And this person set them up or do something crazy. Every story that I ever heard, and ain't nobody gonna tell me different, it was always signs leading up to that. Right? If that person make it out to tell people the story about what happened, it's always... Remember y'all used to see them videos? I know I ain't the only one. Them shows where people be like, this happened to me, and they'll be on there in a wheelchair or hooked up to different bags, shit bags and everything else, and they barely escaped this and all this type of stuff, right? When you look at them stories, they tell the story, and you can see that lead. I don't know if everybody else can see, right? Because I can't... One thing a person told me is don't assume that somebody else knows and somebody else can see that, right? But that's something that I had to work on as well. But I'm just saying, when they tell their story, when I used to look at those videos and them shows when I was younger, I'll be like, damn, well, a blind person could have seen that because, like, all the stuff leading up to that. But what I started to notice is when them people was telling their own story, they couldn't even with them telling their own story, they still didn't even see the issue leading up to that, right? We was good friends, but the one time we went over here, I seen a little strange. I didn't think nothing of it. right? It's always signs leading up to, right? It's always signs leading up to the break. It's always signs leading up to snap of jealousy. It's always signs, y'all. And so I'm gonna need y'all to start being start being Inspector Gadget. And if you can't be the Inspector Gadget, you need to start just removing yourself from people, places, things, family, all of it, associates, all of it, right? I don't play all the way down to the workplace, right? If I go to work and you might have one person that's a problem in that place, and everybody else out of nowhere jump on the bandwagon to cause you issues. You ain't did nothing to nobody. You ain't showed nobody no type of trace, but everybody willing to jump on that bandwagon. Man, it's time for you to remove yourself before something go wrong. I didn't deal with people from the workplace following me to my house, so jealous. Right, I had to leave out a job like, you know what, I'm quitting this because it's too much of a problem now. Too much of a burden. It ain't worth the finance, it ain't worth the money. Right? I had to walk up a flight of stairs, y'all. And these people be so obsessed, it's dangerous. Thank God that I leave just in time. Man, I done had people from the workplace be so obsessed with me and my energy. They called you problems, want you to leave. Once you finally say, you know what, forget it, God, I'll let you handle it and deal with it. They be so obsessed. These people be so obsessed. Let me tell you something. Anything that I'm talking about is able to be proven, right? Dude, the last place that I went to, I got them. They was causing so many problems, demons flying off the walls. I said, you know what? I'm leaving. A lot of people be jealous at the fact of they go to work and they make it's the same 24 hours in a day, right? You made your money, they made your money, they money. Y'all both get paid. They got bad habits, they got drugs, they got tricking problems, they got eating, whatever it is, right? But you go take your money and you go in, invest your money into whatever it is you want, whether you like clothes, shoes, house, you like nice car, you gonna invest your money. They mad at you for taking your money and investing it into something that's beneficial for you, and they mad because they fighting a habit and they want to bring you all down, right? Y'all, I done seen some the craziest stuff. The one place I went and worked at, they started us off with a certain amount. They couldn't keep people, and they like wanted to find something different to do. So they took our pay up just a little bit by what? $3. And then we had our bonuses still every quarter, which was every 3 months, right? I don't believe that the owner took the bonuses down because our bonuses used to be decent, and they went lower and lower and lower and lower. Let me tell you something about the presence and grace and mercy of God, right? When you got the presence, the grace and mercy of the Most High gleaming off of you, they think, right? I was telling another individual, I said, they think that it's the clothes, the car, the house, the dog, right? They think it's the money. They don't understand that what they looking at that they just can't stand about you is that the presence of God, the blessing of God over your life. And so we little minds can't sum up what it is, so they involve it around material things, right? They only like that because of this, they only like that because of that, but they don't understand you only like that because of God and God only, right? And so they see that you getting paid and you doing right with your little finances, you doing all right. These people, I don't care if it's the owner or not, they can be millionaires, trillionaires that will come after you and try to belittle you because of the gumption, the grace and mercy of the Most High God over your life, right? And so I didn't watch the owners be jealous of the little bitty old workers because they taking and doing something with their finances, like they want you to come in there looking toe down, beat up, and on the floor. Oh, we gave them a $3 raise. They think that, oh, you came from the hood. Now you think you all that because I ain't coming here in the hood. I ain't coming here from the hood. I came here and been standing in the same place, right? What's the problem? Watching you go get a tune-up on your car. You got a car wash today. They watching everything you do. Oh, she thinks she all that. Her rim glistening too heavy, and I'm going to do this, and I had the authority. Y'all, I left that place. And shit, while I was there, stuff began to go up Schitt's Creek. And while I was there, when I left, it stuff was going up Schitt's Creek, including that individual who was a blessing, blocking, pocket watching motherfucker, right? Sometimes you got to understand, right? People gonna always make it look like it's you. You the reason why things are going wrong in your life. This, that, and the other, right? They want this persona about you to come off to people because like you struggling, but they not gonna tell people, oh, she's struggling because I'm doing witchcraft on her or him. She's struggling because I know the person that is over her car people, right? These people in places of authority, and since she don't want to work for us no more, I'm gonna get her car taken away. Or she doing too much, she got too much. Oh, let's get her car taken away, right? Let's do this, let's do that. Like these people in places are doing crazy stuff, right? And they using everybody around you, finances, rule people, right? People of this realm, it rules them. And so when you land next to somebody and you see them change up on you, just know that they in the game too. They done turned the other cheek as well. They done start doing stuff as well. When you see that your spouse, you all cool, and all of a sudden they start darting out the house, shit like that, right? They done got paid to do that shit, right? When I tell you, when I left that place, Do you know I seen some of the supervisors from that place rolling past my home? I got so tired of them, the disrespect, the bullying, the causing problems, the jealousy, the envy, the evil, all this nasty stuff that I had to endure in that place out of jealousy and envy, right? Having God's presence on me. That these people, I said, you know, I'm gone, right? I told the one guy, I said, I'm not feeling too good, I need to go home. He gonna tell me, oh, go tell the other guy, right? But mind you, anytime somebody else walked up to him, they had an issue, he just say, go home, I'll let them know, and whoop. But he was pushing my parts up and doing all this weird stuff, and I'm like, no, I'm not doing this today. I said, I gotta go home, and I had the time for it as well. He told the other guy, like, she about to come and find you. He gets up and run out of the office, right? Thinking I'm about to chase him around the workplace. I said, no, I ain't doing that. I'm not doing that, right? I went on here, went home, and that was my last day. When you got people, stop, Nola, no. When you got people who think that what they doing for you, workplace, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, run your life, right? The ins and outs or whatever, you will watch them turn up, right? And when you walk away, they finally figure out, like, damn, how she just walk away like that? Right? All them worry. All them got bad habits. They worry about their kids, their mama, their daddy. How they gonna pay this? How they gonna do that, right? They be so mad when you learn how to disconnect because they really thought that what they was doing, you working, and for your honest earnings and keeps, that was running your... They thought that was really running your life, right? And when they figure out that you ain't that, they be sitting up there looking silly. And they can't handle that you was never that. And so, instead of them just stopping, right, saying they prayers because it's coming, they want to keep coming, right? I'm going to go past her house. She quit this place. I'm going to go past her house. Let me go do this. Let me go take pictures of her house. Let me go. Y'all, I caught so many of them people at that workplace driving past my house. My house and that workplace is clear across town from one another, nowhere near one another. These people was rolling past my house. Somebody had went out there and bought my car and started to drive past my house after they went and bought the car, right? You got to understand the tactics of these people. It's all to make you self-destruct because they can't do nothing to you, right? God got you. And so since we can't do nothing to you, we're going to do things towards you to force you to self-destruct, to force you to look like this and look like that. And when that don't work, right, they be so mad that it don't work. Why God the whole time be tapping them on the shoulder with all of them in every area, in every aspect. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Have time come around. Now you going to get it. And then they keep going. Now you just wrote your fate and your kids' fate, your mommy and them fate, and everything else after that fate. And so when things go to crumbling around them because they wouldn't stop throwing evil eye at you, because they wouldn't stop putting your name in jars and freezers, because they wouldn't stop coming for you in the workplace and grouping up, because they wouldn't stop kicking you while you was down already. They wouldn't stop, right? I have never seen such disgust in my life, right? And I said, God, why me? Why me out of all people have to do this, right? I don't do the why me, poor on me, right? But I'm still going to ask God, what's going on? Let me in, right? Tell me what's going on. I don't know. Sometimes God will use you, right? God know that you were strong enough to endure these things, right? And so it don't necessarily mean that you deserve anything that you're going through. But God said, I need you to go over here and do this thing, right? Because these people, one thing about it is I told somebody before, you ain't the first person they did it to, but you will be the last, right? You had that connection to God. And just because somebody went through it before you did, don't mean that they had deserved to go through that. They might not know God. They might not have the connection. They might still have some karma that they had to clear up, right? But that still don't mean that they deserve to go through it. But you, my dear, my loved one, have that connection, the great connection to God, right? Even before you knew you had it like that. You had a connection to God. And see, these people been going around from people, place, thing, ruining, destroy, destructive, abusing they places of false authority. Respect my authority, right? Abusing these things, right? You go into there, you do it honest. You ain't in there trying to get high for the fire in your trench coat with none of the workers, none of that stuff. You go in there and you do your job. And a lot of them, right, when they see certain appearance, a certain look, they automatically start judging you based off the way you look, the way you built, right? But they can see that you carry yourself a certain way, but they gonna still come at you, right? Nah, get out of my face like on that type of time, right? And when they see that you 10 toes down on what you saying, they start becoming mad because a lot of people are stuck back in the days, right? Stuck back in the days the way it's supposed to go. The way it's supposed to be. Ain't no woman supposed to be speaking. Ain't no one supposed to be the head, you the tail. All that type of stuff stuck back there. And so they sitting back there trying to be destructive. I'm going to shut you up. I'm going to show you about your God. They want to show you about your God and what you trying to make you stop believing in God. And so that's why these people are going so hard. But one thing about God is God love us. He love us, right? They would use any and everything. They would take you down to nothing to make you disrespect yourself. God will allow them to do it, right? But when I tell you, when you step into that purpose that God got you doing, baby, when you deny, when it come after you, God will let you get down to nothing to see how you respond, just to bring you back up. It's dips in this here lane. It's ups and it's downs. It's dips and it's flips. It's time is up. It's time is down. It's time is up. It's time is down. But the downtime is not to harm or hurt you. The downtime is for you to get that lesson, right? For them to get that lesson, whoever that is that you encountering at that time, right? And a lot of times, once you pass that test, it will be a sudden removal. It's up to you or not whether you want to take that removal when God grants you with the way to move, right? And like I said, sometimes when He grants you with the first movement, right, it might be the best move, right? In that time, like if you might have finances and all these things to put you up, right? And you like, no, I got him a pass, right? It's something else. I'm trying to figure it out, right? I'm trying to figure this out, right, God? Is that what's really going on? Or am I tripping? Am I tripping? Is that what's going on, God? No, maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm trying to sit here a little bit longer, right? God, like, she need that lesson a little bit longer, right? Let her get you. She all right. She'll get it. She'll get it. She'll get it, right? Once you get the lesson, once you see what's going on, and you like, God, I see what you're talking about. Pull me up. Take my hand, Lord. Take my hand. Pull me up. Man, you will watch the craziest things happen, and they gonna come at you. They will wait until you down and kick you while you down. You will watch your spouse do things that you never seen that person do, right? As long as you up, as long as you got your own back, right? God will let everything crumble for you to see that person, what they really built on and what they really about. How they about kicking people when they down. How they about throwing a little couple dollars around to force you to do this, knowing you in a vulnerable state. Trying to get you to sell out. Trying to get you to get high for the 5, low for the 4 in your trench coat. It ain't nothing wrong with doing that for your man, for your husband, right? And a lot of people don't even think about it, right? Because a lot of people always got their own back. And so you've never really hit a point where you actually really in need. God will let you hit that state when you in need, right? That's normally like the second outage. When God coming around the corner. Coming around the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. But that second outage, sometimes I said in another video, it might not be the way. You be like, damn, why that got like crust and rust all on that guy? Wait, I should have took the first one, man. I knew it. Right? But a lot of us, right, we have surpassed that. A lot of us had one big thing I'll never forget. I was standing in the middle of my floor, and I heard God say loud and clear, one more fight, but this time it's going to be in the dark. I said, what does that mean? Right? What does that mean, God? Boy. I figured it out, y'all. I said, that's what you was talking about? God, this is too much. Right? And I did that. I'm proud of myself. I did that. A lot of us, we done did that, right? We at the last go round of it. We done, right? Rest. Go to sleep, right? And your circumstance and situation might not be what you want it to be, right? And they will cling and tie you in there, right? You on the verge of the verge, everything, the gas off, the lights off, the dog ain't got no food, you need a pad tampon, bruh, you need deodorant, right? You like, God, what's happening? That's when God will use that thing to come after you, right? And you like, a person to come at you, I got these blues, come lay with me, I got these blue face. You like, what you talking about, right? You all the way up here. I got these blues, come belittle your soul. I've been gone all day, I'ma do what I want to do. I got these blues, come lay with me. Since I went out the house and did what I want to do. I got these blue fussy faces, come lay with me. What the hell did you just say to me? And you might really need it. But bitch, I'll pass. When God see that, ring the alarm. Because I'll be damned if y'all the angels up there clapping like, he got it. She got it. Send the blessing in. 24-hour beat down. I'm telling y'all. Wake up in the morning, everything changes 24 hours. I'm talking about that level of blessing when you get on your path. And it will come left, right, center. Every single person who is involved in a tumultuous energy like 607. Let me get down in the chair. That's my dude, man. I like him. Like 607 Unc said. He said, wait a minute. Let me get in my groove so I can answer these idiots. Now, let me tell you what's going on. These are my dogs. Let me tell y'all. A lot of y'all have surpassed a lot of these tests, a lot of these things that came after y'all. A lot of y'all is like, what's happening? God, I've been fighting so long, I'm tired. And a lot of times you don't be tired at the beginning or the end. You actually start getting tired when you start figuring out that you got a lesson and a blessing and a mission and all that, right? When I found out I had a mission after my son's passed, and I was tired as hell, been tired ever since, right? And God picked the tired place. Get off me, stop. What is y'all doing? Y'all look at these dogs. This the animals acting a fool. You all right? Oh, God. Get down. Get down. Get down. Come on. Get down. Get down, Nola. Get down. Your daughter down there. That's her daughter. Get down. You showing out, and she thinks she can show out. You the mama. You lead with example. You lead by example. You hear me? Get down. Cause your daughter trying to get up here and mess with me. I'm trying to record a video. Now, I'm gonna get off here in a minute because these dogs wanna go play. I gotta let them outside. It's nighttime. We get up at nighttime and we be out there shouting, praising the Lord. They know how to dance and everything. Y'all ain't even playing. My dog be having her hands in the air, like praise the Lord, praise the Lord, praise the Lord. Y'all, I'm gonna have to show y'all one of these days. But a lot of us has came to the end game. We at the end stretch, right? We went through mission after mission after mission after mission. God know we tired. We weary as hell. God, I barely hold up. God, some days you be in the house crying like, God, I barely hold up. You gotta come in. Pull yourself together. You can do this. You can do it. Kids coming, mama. All right, yeah, I'm coming, guys. Mama, you crying? No, there's something in my pepper, black pepper, black pepper. I'm tired as hell, Lord. I'm tired as hell. God be like, wait a minute, I'm almost done. Wait a minute. Now, this person about to come down the street, talking about those blue faces, and I need you to pay attention, right? Because you can get caught up in, I don't care how sanctified you is. Let you be in need and somebody coming down the street with a stack of money. Lord, that fix all my problems, Jesus. God said, you let that in your dough, you going to have more than some blue faces. You going to have that thigh out. That eat you crumbly coochie, and, and you're going to be fighting that nigga off for the rest of your life. Let it in and ruin this, what I got for you. You let it in, I'm going to smack you. I'm going to let it rain on you. You hear me? Rain terror and confusion all over your life. And don't reach up after I took you this far. They come in every which way, right? And so when a lot of people, they can't come in the hard way, right? They try to come, they was out there doing black magic on you, and you feeding the community, kids and all, right? Family members and all, you giving them this, giving them that. They thinking because they did this little trick of a confusion on you that overgive. Y'all, she overgiving to me. He overgiving to me. I got him like that. I got her like that. Putting your face all in the jar. Don't even know God has broke all that off of you. They can't even be touched in the spirit. But they don't know that you doing that out of kindness, generation, just trying to help them. Because that's your heart. And they taking it to me. They put you in a jar and they making you overgive. And then when you shut the door, they all confused. What happened? Daddy, mama, granny, sister, cousin, brother, auntie, granny, mama. They done helped your family put you all in jars and shit with lemons and cucumbers and bullshit and doo-doo and graveyard dirt. They thought they had you under control till you shut the door. They like, ooh, I was only playing. You took that serious. And when they see that you ain't letting that in, you ain't playing this go round, right? Because you done deal with it for years. See, it's a decades and decades of bullshit that piles up. When you get tired, you get tired. But they thought because they took your kindness really as weakness, right? They really took your kindness as weakness. They took the fact that you was giving to them like what they was doing to you was working. They didn't know that you was doing it out the kindness of your heart. And one day God was going to have you sew it up and shut it up. Shut that door and don't open it back up. When I give you this, get up and walk out and never turn back. Change your email, your Gmail, your YouTube, your phone number, your TikTok. Change it all. Matter of fact, go enjoy yourself because you did the hard work. Leave it all behind and don't let it in. And before it come, you would cut it all off and you would watch it try to scrounge its way. And when people can't get their way, but coming back around you after they abused you after time after time after time, and you finally gave up, they actually did it themselves. You finally give it like, forget it. That's what you want in life. Go out there, right? Years of dealing with this, and they be sitting up there ready to destroy you because you won't let them back around you. They will come up with all type of levels of confusion because you won't let that around you. After they done proved themselves time and time again that they didn't fuck with you, that they ain't like you, that they, matter of fact, they hate you. And you still around them, you need anything? They taking it, putting you in a jar laughing at you. I hate that bitch. I hate that nigga. Bro think he gonna keep giving to me because I got that nigga. I did this. I went down there and got this done on him. Yeah, nigga, I know. I don't like you, but you gonna keep giving to me. Binded your ass all up in the spirit. Bro, he don't even know, right? God will let some things as a slight touch you, right? Just touch you just a little bit so he can yak up and pack up and smack up their ass up. I always say, because I say, well, God, why would you allow this, that, right? I'm always asking God, and he always answered me too. If it never touched you, God can't get those people, and then they keep getting away with murder, and who's to say the next time they're going to come across an earth angel, right? God needed you because there's not many of us here. I need you to do this thing, and I need it to touch you, so you might feel a rift, but I ain't going to let the full effect hit you, right? I ain't going to let that full effect of what they doing hit you, but I need it to touch you a little bit so I can tear them up. All you got to do is just barely touch you, barely, just a little bit. Just touch it. It just need to touch you. I want it to touch you because they've been out here destroying people. Some of these people have been destroying you before you got to this earth. They've been destroying people before you even knew that you was a seed, and the seed was a seed, and the God, you was still up there conversing with God about your mission. God like, and you're going to go down there and forget, and I'm telling you right now, they coming. And the last go round, I'm telling you before the blessing come in, because I'm telling you all this, because somewhere in there, I'm going to give you downloads Oh, by the way, the one girl across the way that you ran into, she will try to enter your dream state. And so I'm going to block that, but I need you to get up at 6 a.m. and pray. You ain't going to know that it's me, right? You might question me sometimes, but I'm telling you I'm here, right? Right on the side of you. I'm telling you, y'all, it be like that. It be like that. And so when you get the inkling, don't think twice, do it. You've been through this several times. They killed you 8 lifetimes ago, and we're still going through this, man. So pay attention to the signs this time. You all right? Yeah, I got it. You ain't hear me. You keep saying you want to go down there. You keep saying you want to fight the good fight, but they keep killing you in all the lifetimes. I'm telling y'all. This your 8th time back here now. This your 8th time back. God be up there like a real daddy to us. You hear me? Now you go down there and pay attention to the signs. This time, times have changed. The internet is on. Now, plug into the Wi-Fi. Right? You should win this time. They're going to do this, they're going to do that, they're going to lie, they're going to slander. You got a serious mission. You keep raising your hand, how much you want to go. You get down there and get the crime. I ain't got time for that. We got to defeat this thing. We at war. Pick yourself up. All right, God, I'm going down there. Look at her. I made her with sugar and spice and everything nice. I should have put some mean in there. She just giggling. And they all after her in the back. Y'all, I'm telling you, God probably be up there shaking his head like, oh my God, these people. My sweet babies. But this time go round, y'all, I'm telling y'all, we are winning this war. And another thing, you always hear about, it's not a lot of us here compared to how many people is actually here, right? Compared to how many people, they say it's 144. Dude, God has been showing me 144 so much, right? It depends on where you at in your mission and in which way God will communicate, right? My first angel numbers was when my son passed away. 444 was the first set of angel numbers that I ever knew that I had got. And I got those numbers from, my birthday is October 4th. I don't know if I said this in another video. My son's birthday is May 4th, and his daddy's birthday was June 4th. That was the first set of angel numbers that I ever got. And it took me about a year to a year and a half, somewhere around there, right? Don't quote me, because about times y'all mixed up. Somewhere after that, to me to even figure out what that was, that our birthdays was like that. I didn't even pay attention that our birthdays was like that. That it was like 444 like that. I did never pay attention. I never even paid attention, right? Until after he passed, and about a year to a year and a half later passed, came around. And so people make up all these numbers, right? But my numbers was real, right? My numbers was real. They came real. October 4th, mine's. My son's birthday, May 4th. His daddy's birthday, June 4th, right? 444 was the set of first numbers I ever got. And I did not know this until about a year and a half after. Somewhere around that time. And at my son's funeral, I'll never forget that my baby daddy granddad walked up to me and he said, you got a big mission. Have you figured it out, right? And I said, no, what you talking about, right? I'm in a repast. We in a repast now, right? Because we had the funeral, then we went to the repast, right? He was only a month and a half when he passed. And what's crazy is that he passed on June 14th. He only lived for a month and a half. He was born May 4th, passed June 14th. And so, it's all these fours, right? But I did not pay attention. I did not pay attention, right? But what's even crazier is that my brother's birthday is on that day as well. So it's 1414, right? 444, 1414, right? And so I get to breaking these numbers down once I start figuring it out. And then after I figured it out, I started seeing all these numbers, right? And so I'm like, okay, God, what you trying to tell me? What you trying to tell me? And everything that God was showing me, whenever he let that number come up, but it always aligned with something I was going through at that time. Some type of encouragement word in there. Birds, all kind of stuff, right? The last set of birds that I seen was vultures, right? And that was God letting me know, don't fail. You are here. And when it comes, keep your mouth shut because it's going to be vultures coming, right? Where I'm from, I have never, ever, 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 ever seen vultures where I was from. I got videos of them. Never, ever, 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 ever seen vultures. And somebody gonna try to tell me that's a vulture / turkey. Boy, they will try to discredit you, on top of discredit you, on top of, they did it to Yahweh. You know the walk. And anybody walking the walk, and they a part of this walk, you know you have been tore down, lied on, all this type of stuff, slander. But when God lifts you up, it ain't nothing nobody gonna be able to do. And okay, let me go back here for a second. When I brought up the thing about the 144, right? It's not a lot of us here compared to the amount of things that need corrected and all this type of stuff, right? People who know, y'all know. And they say, oh, it's 144 of us here. But people don't understand, right? It was, right? It started off like, right? You got some that coming up under us, that's coming after us, as well as if it was 144 of us right now, you got to understand that some of them didn't even make it. Can we have a moment of silence? Can we have a moment of silence? They don't talk about that part of it. Right? Some of the ones that was on a mission got knocked off. Some of the missions on people, they're not here anymore. Right? Some of them couldn't even take it. They took themselves. Some of them got taken. Right? Some of them just fell off and tried to blend in and live normal lives because they couldn't take it. They don't talk about that part of the journey. They don't talk about that part of it. And so, technically, it's really not a full 144 here. But God had let me see 144, 144, 144, right? It's a number I've been seeing. 666, 144, 000, great restart, right? And I know it's like, it's something that's internal, right? You know you connected in that way because it's something that's conviction. It's an internal thing. And it's something that you can't shake, right? People be like, how do I know if I'm this and I'm that? Because it's something that you can't shake. Not something somebody told you. You know when you go back all the way to your childhood, that it's an energy, a feeling that you just can't shake. It's a difference in there, right? It's a level of disconnect there, right? And so that's how you know. You know when you was younger, something was gone. Something was going on. And so, y'all, I'm about to get off of here. We are at past halftime. We are in the last quarter of this thing. And they're going to come out the woodwork. We already been in the last part of it. We already been past halftime. I'm here to tell y'all. We are at the last quarter inch. And so, you will see some crazy stuff, right? When you see that person come after you, when you say, God, I'm doing this thing, God, okay, I'm doing this thing, right? And you in a low place in your life, right? Where you like, I know I need, right? And God like, but I don't want you going that route, I want you taking that. And you know it's not right because in the way in which that person is, person, place, or thing is presenting you with that thing, right? And so you go down the street and down, you see somebody with some blue faces, and you gonna go out there and risk yourself and carry blue waffle? It ain't right. Leave it right there. Stay at your lows. Stay up, stay down till you come up. Stay 10 toes down in the mess, right? Shimmy it on up. Thug it out. Like Boosie said, it's cold outside, we don't need cable. Half down. My phone is skipping, so I'm about to get off of here. Half down, touchdown. We are in for the win. Anybody presenting you with false starts, false opportunity, right? Keep them right there. When you got somebody sitting next to you that see you in a vulnerable position and they kicking you while you down, or trying to make you do things against your will, or trying to present you with things to make you have to get down low and scroungel, right? To get high for the fight and low for the foe in your trench coat. It ain't right. Leave it there. Call God. God, I'm ready. I'm ready for the blessing. What? Because I did a what? Lesson. Anybody trying to hold anything up, I'm telling you, they're going to get fully bulldozed out of the way. Straight bulldoze. God coming through there like, Lord, he in there with his hat on, his work hat on, hard helmet, right? Hard top, hard hat. With the bulldozer, talking about bulldoze him out the way. Ain't nobody greater than God. Not one measly human is greater and more powerful than the Most High God. So, get ready. Get ready for your blessing, for your blessing. Get ready for your miracle. You will go outside, get a dollar scratch-off ticket with your last 99 cents and find a penny on the ground and win for something big. Believe in God. Trust in it. Hold your head up. Stay down. Stay down till you come up. Y'all have a blessed one. Bye-bye. I love you guys. I'll be back. Don't know. I don't know when. I don't know how. I don't know, right? Hopefully the next time I get on here, me and my dog will be Rocky, part chinchilla, mink, right? No, I don't believe in harming the animals, right? Maybe I'll get about 100 parrots and see if I can borrow a feather from each parrot to make me a coat or something, you know? Well, they'll be still living, one feather, wait till they shed it. Okay? I want to walk around like peacock, parrot too. We all do. Don't nobody want to struggle, and we deserve this. We deserve it, y'all. So stay down till you come up. Do not go out there and disgrace yourself because you in need. Wait a minute. Talk to God about it. Y'all have a blessed one. I love you. Goodbye.